Women, this law will affect you greatly. Women, this law will affect you greatly. What's up, everybody? My name is Kier, and you are watching the important things that really matter. Today, we're going to be talking about ladies, women. This law will affect you greatly. It will affect you tremendously. What laws am I talking about? I am talking about the law of reaping and sowing. Your grandmother, your great-grandmother knew about this law years ago. Matter of fact, they used to tell people that you will reap what you sow. The street version of that is what comes around goes around. A lot of people knew this, and it is a law that's been in place since this planet was put in place or created by the Creator, the Almighty. This law is in the Old Testament. This law is in the New Testament, and it affects everybody. But a lot of people have forgot about this law. And so one of the things you have to take in consideration is that you have to understand how this law operates so that you don't jam yourself up in the future. Now, what do I mean by that? The law of reaping and sowing means this: whatsoever you do to another person, whether it's good or evil, will come back to you. Once again, it means this, that whatsoever you do to another person, whether it's good or evil, will come back to you. So in other words, if you do evil to another person, or if you do evil to a group of people, that evil will come back to you. Also too, if you do good to another person, if you do very good to another person, or you do good to a group of people, those good things will come back to you. All right, so you have to keep this in mind, and also you need to keep this in mind, especially when you're listening to people that's giving you bad advice. For example, there are some people that are out here. There's a particular person that was that tries to train different ladies on how to finesse a man. Well, finesse a man is just another words for scam a man out of money. You can phrase it however way you want to talk. You can use whatever words you want to use. Bottom line is, finessing a man out of money is no more than number one, using the man, and number two, trying to scam a man out of money or somebody else out of money. So if you go according to the law of reaping and sowing, what does that mean? If you use a person, or if you're scamming somebody, that means that you will be used and you will be scammed upon. And this will come back to you in numerous ways. Let me give you an example. There was a particular person who finessing a guy. She was finessing the guy, she was using the guy, she was manipulating the guy, she was getting this man's money, and she was just causing this guy so many problems financially. The man was really, really in love with the woman, and basically she was just using him, abusing him, and manipulating him, and the guy had enough of it. And so do you know what happened to that particular person? And we are still talking about the law of reaping and sowing. Do you know what happened to that person? I'll tell you what happened to that person. That person went out in broad daylight in the middle of the day and deleted that person. I'm talking about in the middle of the afternoon. This person did not wait till nighttime. This person did this in the middle of the afternoon. And this person knew what was going to happen to him. He knew what was going to happen to him. But this person had abused this person, manipulated, used, finessed this guy so much out of money. And this is how it came back to the person. Now, if you need to take this into particular consideration, because number one, if you follow the advice of some of these people and trying to finesse different people out of some money or scam some money out of somebody, you can scam the wrong person and it can come back on you immediately. There was another female that for a good while, she was scamming men out of money. She was finessing men out of money. She was using, manipulating, abusing. And so one day, guess what ended up happening to this particular individual, this particular person? And we are still talking about the law of reaping and sowing. This person was using, manipulating, abusing, finessing people out of money. And so this particular female set up here and ran into this particular guy. And the guy that she ran into, once the guy realized that he was being used for his money, do you know what ended up happening? The guy ended up abusing the person. Flat out abused the person, and abused the person so much so physically that he ended up taking this person and putting them on the street as a streetwalker. Did you hear what I just said? The person abused the person physically and put that person on the street as a streetwalker. Okay? What do you see right now? You see the law of reaping and sowing coming right back to the person. You cannot sit up here and do evil to people and think that the stuff will not come back to you. It will. That's why you have to take in consideration, you have to be extremely careful who you get your information from. For example, there's a lady, there's a female rapper. This female rapper decided that she was going to, what was she doing? She was the type of person that she goes out and she tells other ladies that you need to have a hot girl summer. You need to have a hot girl summer, have as much fun, screw around with as many men or women as you want to screw around with. And let me tell you what ended up happening to a particular individual and how this person reaped what they had sown. This person followed this lady's advice. After she followed this woman's advice, she decided the woman slept with 3 different men in a 2-day period. Once again, this lady slept with 3 different men in a 2-day period and got pregnant. Her hot girl summer lasted less than a week. Now, not only did the person get pregnant, but she don't even know out of the 3 guys who got her pregnant, and probably can't get in contact with them, don't know who they were, can't get in contact with them. And now she's walking around with a baby and she don't know who the father was. I remember one time I had a performance in a mall, and I had somehow or another, me and this was a teenage girl, we were talking, and I was asking her, why don't she come back for the performance I was going to do later on. And what ended up happening was, somehow or another we got on, I was telling her, well, why don't you have your father bring you back? And so when I told this young lady, she looked like she was probably about 14 or 15 years old. I said, why don't you have your father bring you back for the performance? She just yelled out loud in front of everybody, I don't know who my father is. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. See, this is what happens when people don't think about their actions. What do I mean by that? You have some people go out here, they'll sleep with this person, they'll sleep with that person, they'll sleep with this person, they'll get pregnant, they don't even know who the father is, and so the kid grows up. The kid grows up and don't even know who their father is. And this will affect that kid for the rest of their life, trying to figure out who their father is when the mother doesn't even know who the father is. Very, very extremely sad situation. I really felt for that lady. I really felt for that young girl because she didn't know who her father was. And so, and there's a lot of young girls out there that don't know who their father is. And that's mainly because, and we're still talking about the law of reaping and sowing. We're still talking about that law. You go out there, you sleep with a number of different people, you get pregnant, and you may not know who the father is. Then the kid grows up not knowing who the father is. You could cause that kid all types of problems. And once again, we're still talking about the law of reaping and sowing. Then again, also too, the female rapper that's encouraging women to go out there and have a hot girl summer, she is not going to send that woman a check every month is a very low probability that she's going to send that woman a check every month for the child that she had by taking this woman's advice to go out there and having a hot girl summer and screwing around with as many people as she wanted to. So you're not going to get no help from the people that you're getting your advice from. Not no financial help. Very little, if any. So, but then also too, what can end up happening too is while people are out here sleeping around with different people, and we're still talking about the law of reaping and sowing. You can go out there and screw around with numerous different people, end up getting pregnant, or you can screw around with numerous different people and end up coming up with a disease, a permanent disease that you cannot get away from, that there's no cure for, like HIV or AIDS or herpes or this other disease called blue waffles. This is extremely important. These people that's giving you advice to tell you go out there and screw around with as many people as you want to, they're not going to send you no money for your doctor bills. They're not going to send you any money for your hospital visits. They're not going to send you any of the money on a regular basis for your medication because you went out there and screwed around with somebody and then ended up getting AIDS, HIV, herpes, or blue waffles. If you don't know what blue waffles is, I suggest you type it in, Google search it, and they'll come up with some pictures. So what am I saying? I'm saying the law of reaping and sowing is in operation. It has not stopped being in operation. And there's a whole lot of people that don't realize that what you do to another person or what you do to a group of people will end up coming back to you. Now, there was another lady too. There were two ladies that decided that they wanted to finesse some men. And they both were relatives. They were both blood relatives. And so what ended up happening was the lady, and this made the news too, they were out there finessing people, scamming people out of money, and they scammed the wrong person. So what happened when they scammed the wrong person? Well, made the news. The police found a car that was set on fire. Now, when the police opened up the trunk of the car, what did you think they found? They found those two women in the trunk of this car after the car was set on fire. All right, so I am telling you, you have to be extremely careful who you get your information from. Got to be extremely careful because there's a lot of people that do not have your best interests. They tell people whatever they want to hear to make money off them, to sell books or whatever, so that you keep coming back to their channel, so you know they're giving you bad information. And the bad information that people are giving, some people are giving you, can actually end up getting you deleted. Nobody is going to send you, nobody's going to send you any money for your funeral expenses, for getting bad advice from somebody. So anyway, this is extremely, extremely important subject. You need to share this with as many people as possible. They need to know about the law of reaping and sowing, okay? Please like, please share, please subscribe, please hit the notifications bell, and peace.